And now, for a brand new episode of the award-winning campus video game show Level Up.
Welcome to Season 2 of the highest-rated closed-circuit program on campus,
Level Up.
We play and review video games so you don't have to. It's a dangerous profession. Only the boldest of the bold may apply.
Boldest.
This year's show will feature both highly anticipated titles to come, some classics of yesteryear, and heck, we may even cover that game you love, whichever generic Space Marine hunk of crap that was. Unless, of course, that favorite game is Turok. That series died with the N64.
Yeah, I don't think that was a good move, because I can already see the Turok fanboy hate mail.
I'd settle for any mail, honestly, dude.
Fair enough, fair enough. But it doesn't matter, because we are famous. We are internet famous, and I'm sure after this, the first episode of Season 2, our spam filters will be just filled to the very brim with ads for, like, Big Al's Comanche X Emporium.
I love Big Al's Comanche X Emporium.
Yeah, I thought you might. Today, we're going to have a look at Lost Planet 2.
Which doesn't feature anyone named Big Al, or in fact, any axes. Comanche or otherwise.
Which is a
Why are
damn
we
shame.
reviewing this game?
I don't know. Hey, it does feature design issues, a crazy story, and big old monsters.
I want a Comanche axe.
I don't blame you. So, this your first rodeo?
No, sir. I served with the first Nevik operation on the surface. I'm telling you, this place is a frozen hellhole.
Yeah, tell me about it. Blinding snow, Arctic temperatures. I've seen good men perish in the cold. This ain't no place to vacate.
What the hell?
The first Lost Planet may have been defined by a gimmick, but at least it was an interesting one. Basically, the extreme climate was your most deadly foe, forcing you to conserve your precious thermal energy in order to survive. Run out of thermal and you get an all-expenses-paid trip to hypothermic death.
Interesting idea, but it's a tough sell, especially when there's no friggin' snow around. Well, alright, there's a little bit of snow, enough to make a snowman. Or 2 midget snowmen. Oh. That's right. Environments of Lost Planet 2 have received a revamp. You can now have a little bit of desert with your Arctic wasteland, and maybe a little jungle on the side.
According to the game's fiction, the sequel takes place on the same planet as the first games, albeit 10 years later. Now, I don't care what Greenpeace's paid scientific council tells you, you do not go from tundra to desert in 10 years. I doubt they're trying to sell a message, though, because their solution seems to be murdering the local populace to harvest their precious heat juice and use it as fuel in a no-holds-barred race for resources.
Are we supposed to take these guys seriously? Hoth turns into a hybrid of Endor and Tatooine in the same time that a boy grows into a man? And Ice Age gives way to lush jungles and oceans of burning sand on the same planet over 10 freaking years? This planet's climate is all f***ed up, and that's all there is to it.
But wait, it gets better. You see, the convenient partition of the world into meteorologically uniform regions has affected the game's factions in different ways, which is the gist of what passes for a plot around here. For much of the beginning of the game, you play as characters from the no longer aptly named faction, the Snow Pirates. This tribe consists of rebels rebelling against things, and despite having no power structure, still receive orders to blow things up. Their motivations are never explained beyond a healthy dislike for what remains of Nevik, the military construction crew that may or may not have caused the planet to melt. Meanwhile, ex-Nevik troops mount a coup against old Nevik soldiers and the scoundrels that call themselves New Nevik. New Nevik apparently wants to awaken the Overg Mama Alien, harvest its vast store of thermal energy, and presumably blast off into space, cackling as EDN-3 freezes over. Again. Solar energy tanks depleted. Emergency shutdown commencing.
Looks like we're gonna have to be huffing it, Jim. It's a long trek back, easily 50 miles, but together we can... Oh. I wish I had a tauntaun. Now let's try exploring this from the Acrid's point of view. The Acrid are a race of giant, lovable insectoid aliens whose only dream is to peacefully populate the planet of EDN-3. And, well, maybe eat a dude or two. Their bodies are almost entirely made up of orange icy hot gel, which was okay because they lived on an ice cube. One day, assholes from outer space come down with their spaceships and their machine guns, and in the first encounter with the Acrid, discover that their orange blood made for excellent fuel. Deciding to ignore any other possible natural resources the planet may have been hiding, the humans embarked on a campaign of repression, murder, pillaging, and basically just all around being douchebags.
Look, this narrative is thinly contrived, incoherent horseshit, like any song by Breaking Benjamin.
I love Breaking Benjamin!
Shut up! Now, why are the snow pirates so protective of their godforsaken planet anyway? Because it's their home? It was a mistake to settle there. There's nothing of value, and it was still a hostile bitch even before parts of it went all steamy. And what does New Nevik even plan to do? Sell their illicitly gained stock of thermal energy to the highest bidder? Who the hell would buy it? Anyway, it doesn't matter, because you're just going to skip the cutscenes anyway. Be warned, they have completely random QuickTime events that carry little to no consequences for failure.
Brick walls! The game feels like it needed another month or two of development, because large portions of it seem unfinished. Little things add up over time and overshadow its moments of actual action junkie brilliance. Little things like the insanity that ensues if you ever fired upon by turrets. Their bullets take priority over everything, so your attempts to steer yourself away, grapple, or any sort of action to the contrary leads to failure. It's like the game engine is very busy dealing with your rapidly dwindling health bar and doesn't have any time to accept input from you. Let's not forget the clumsiness that seems to permeate the game's design. It's apparent in the menus, level objectives, and level design.
Okay, it might seem that we don't like this game.
We don't.
And while that's certainly true, it does have its moments. Notably, the later sections that let you pilot the best mech in the game for about 10 minutes, well, surprisingly, it's not nearly as clunky and unresponsive as the rest, and it makes you wonder why the development team even bothered with the rest of the game. Ooh, also, the boss Acrid are breathtakingly colossal, and a blast to take down with some buddies the first time.
It's really a shame because I was looking forward to killing some really big monsters with my friends in a stylish and satisfying fashion. This game ain't it, especially if you try to play split screen.
Oh my god.
Well, Brandon, that was the first episode of Season 2.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was.
Wow.
Yeah, how about that?
I think we may have left out a lot of important stuff about the game, like the controls, or maybe
We ate controls.
what it's like to play it.
No, I think we captured that pretty well.
I feel like we were so put off by how dumb it is that we just forgot to review like other things beyond the big things.
Isn't the big things what matter?
You're right. The big things definitely what matters.
Welcome back, everyone.
Good to have you around.
That was homoerotically hilarious.
Well, that was scary.
Now for a look at the week ahead. Let's head over to the LC Storm Center for the forecast with Chief Forecaster Will Stafford.
Now from the LC Storm Center, here is Chief Forecaster Will Stafford.
All right, everyone, let's start out by showing you a picture from the Avalon Pier Cam in Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina on the Outer Banks, much calmer than just a few days ago when Hurricane Earl skimmed the coast. As of right now, there isn't really much on the radar to talk about. You can sort of see the remnants of Earl on the upper parts of the screen, but other than that, high and dry across the Middle Atlantic region. In fact, looking at several models over the next week, quiet and fairly comfortable are the only real big weather stories. A quick look at the tropics, nothing much out there. We were watching a wave coming off of Africa, but that has since dissipated. So back closer to home with the 7-day, for the most part comfortable. There will be some heat in here, but for the most part we're going to stay back on the less humid side. Typical for this time of September. We do reach 90 on Wednesday and maybe a shower by the weekend around Saturday. Otherwise not looking too bad. Remember, LC Storm Center is on Facebook and YouTube. Get the latest forecast there 24/7 anytime. Mandy?
Thanks, Will. Now for this week's update on LC Sports with Sports Director Justin Pryputin.
All right, LC, welcome back to the Worldwide Sports. I'm Justin Pryputin. We get things started on the hardwood, volleyball style. The Lynchburg College volleyball team opened its 2010 season Saturday, dropping a pair of matches at the Maryville College Invitational in the Volunteer State. Emory University defeated Lynchburg by the scores of 22-25, 25-17, 27-25, and 25-16. The Hornets played very well against the third-ranked team in the NCAA Division III, paced by sophomore Becca Loftus with 7 kills and 5 blocks. Michelle Boucher and Marion Lozano had 8 kills each. Mallory Stewart added 4 blocks. Jasmine Murphy had 7 digs, and Brooke Mogan compiled 15 assists. Mount St. Joseph's defeated Lynchburg 25-17, 25-19, and 25-23 in the second match of the day. Mogan led LC with 11 assists and 10 digs, and Rachel Turk had 11 assists. Boucher had 8 digs, while Loftus had 6. The 4th-ranked Lynchburg College women's soccer team opened its 2010 season with a 3-1 victory over Shenandoah University Saturday afternoon in the 4-team Roanoke College Invitational. Sophomore Shelly Hoth opened the scoring at 10:18 on an assist from senior Betsy Kwiatkowski. Jessica Gonzalez scored at the 35 minutes even from Kristen Machori off a corner kick, and LC took the 2-0 advantage into halftime. Shenandoah closed the gap 12 minutes after intermission on a penalty kick by Amber Womack. LC added an insurance goal with 10 minutes on the clock as Brittany Klipstein converted a feed from Katie Santos to put the game out of reach. Kat Terza made 7 stops in the net for Shenandoah, 0-2. Lynchburg held a 27-2 edge in shots. The number 13 Lynchburg College field hockey team started out the season with a win by shutting out the University of Mary Washington by a score of 4-0 on a sunny Wednesday afternoon on Schellenberger Field. Kudos to Will. Lynchburg got its first goal of the season from sophomore midfielder Shelly Milks, who pounded home a goal off a rebound at the 16:41 mark of the first half. Lindsay Leonard followed with a goal at the 25:59 mark of the first half after taking a feed from Haley Stowe. After halftime, senior Jenny Weir wasted no time in scoring her first goal of the season by putting in a goal off the rebound at the 36:38 mark. Weir, who had 5 shots in the contest, would also score another goal at 68:01, making her the scoring leader for the Hornets early in the season. A little later in the day, on that same Wednesday, Methodist University goalie Kyle Beach and the Monarch defense spoiled the Lynchburg College men's soccer home opener with a 2-0 victory on Schellenberger Field. The Hornets outshot their opponents 9-5 in the first half, with the contest with scoreless at intermission. Shane Davis scored from Byron Kelly less than 2 minutes after the break to put MU ahead 1-0. LC again outshot Methodist in the second half and had several good opportunities to find the back of the net but could not convert. The Monarchs' Clayton Newton added with an insurance goal with 10 minutes remaining from Eric McGinnis on a 2-on-1 play. Finally, news and notes. For those in the Edinburgh College Pick'em contest, a few of you might be out of luck after Saturday's games. Upsets included Jacksonville State over Ole Miss. However, Alabama rolls even without Mark Ingram. The Arizona Cardinals have released Matt Leinart in the final round of cuts before the regular season. Speaking of regular season, it kicks off this Thursday on NBC, Vikes vs. Saints. You can watch it on WSLS 10 here in Lynchburg. That's the Week in Sports. I'm Justin Pry-Putin. Back to Mandie.
Thanks, Justin. And before we go, don't forget to sign up to donate blood for the American Red Cross on Wednesday, September 8th from 10 to 4 in the Hall Campus Center Ballroom. If you're scared of needles but would still like to help, sign up to be a volunteer. Sign-ups are located in OSA. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Until next time, I'm Mandie. See you next week, LC.